Hanukkah, oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Spinning tops to play with and latkes to eat. While we are playing, the candles they're burning low. One for each night. Shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night. Shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la. Ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la ya la la, ya la ya la la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, Yom Tov Shene, lustige, freiliche, noch a Säune, alle Nacht in Dreidlach spielen mir. Essen heiße Latkes, essen schier, geschwinde, der Kinder. Ja la 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 la, ja la la la, ja la la la, ja la 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 la, ja la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la la la, ya la la, ya la la. La 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 la, la 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 la, ya la la, ya la 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 la. Happy Hanukkah, everybody. How many are here because they love these two families? How many are here because we love the bat mitzvah over there? Raise your hand, bat mitzvah. And how many love the bar mitzvah over here? And together they make a mighty pair, don't they? How many are here because they want to celebrate this weekend? It's going to be wonderful, wonderful.
Just said to Lily, this is not a performance. This is mitzvah, and it is, what is it, Hayden? It's happy. We're celebrating. Like the cantor just said, we're celebrating, right? So we're going to have some fun. Have fun. That's what I told him. Two words, have fun. That's what it's all about. And it, not only is it Shabbat, this is like the trifecta. If you are from where I come for the last 20 years, which was Kentucky, you understand what trifecta means, right? Because you're a Kentucky Derby fan, right? Trifecta, you get all three. Right? So you won all three. So in this case, we're winning all three. We've got Shabbat, we've got Rosh Chodesh, it's the beginning of a new month, and of course we have Hanukkah. We have a fourth. The fourth is B'nai Mitzvah, right? That we're celebrating with you. So there cannot be any more joy than we're getting right now, is those four things. So it's wonderful that we're going to celebrate together. We began with a wonderful little Hanukkah ditty that got us going a little bit. And now we're going to pause as we pause to sing Shalom Aleichem as we welcome in Shabbat. You'll find it on the bottom of page 5.
Put your arms around the person next to you and sing and sway. Shalom Aleichem, Malachi Hasharid, Malachi El Elyon, mi melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei Elyon. Keep that swinging around. Mi melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu, mi l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei Elyon, mi melech malchei hamlach, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, malachei hashalom, malachei Elyon, mi melech malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shake hands with your neighbor. Say, Shabbat Shalom, it's good to be here.
Shalom. You'll turn back to page 4. There you'll find the bracha for lighting the candles. We're going to invite Hayden and Lily to come on up to the side bima to help us with the bringing in of the light of the candles. You notice we don't have the Hanukkah candles here. With sundown being so early, if we lit them, they'd be out by now. But we did get our Shabbat candles lit here in the sanctuary. So we hope you had a chance to do it at home before you came. And we will certainly bring in the Shabbat candles together. On page 4, I'll ask if you're able to rise as we join together the bottom of page 4.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Kiddishanu b'mitzvotav V'tzivanu Lehadlik ner V'tzivanu Lehadlik ner V'tzivanu Lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat. Yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, la 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 la, yai la la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la, yai la 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 la. Give a hug to the person next to you, and if you want, kiss them. We're a kissing religion. Give them a hug and a kiss. Come on, it's a good thing. But wear masks, of course.
You may be seated. You'll turn over to page 11 there. You'll find the formal beginning of Kabbalat Shabbat, the service that welcomes in Shabbat, the spirit of Shabbat. And as I mentioned before, we already are in that Shabbat spirit, but we raise it even higher. Page 11, L'chuna Ranana.
Okay, just when you thought it was safe to go into the water, keep that beat going. Come on. I don't hear you. Come on, we're in Texas. Keep going. L'chuna Ranana, L'chuna Ranana, L'chuna Ranana, Adonai. L'chuna Ranana, L'chuna Ranana, L'chuna Ranana. Let's sing now. L'chuna Ranana, L'chuna Ranana, L'chuna Ranana, Adonai. L'chuna Ranana, L'chuna Ranana, L'chuna Ranana, Adonai. Now sing. Naria, Netzur Yishenu, Nekadma Fana Betoda. Naria, Netzur Yishenu, Bezmirot Naria Lo. L'chuna Ranana, L'chuna Ranana, L'chuna Ranana, Adonai. L'chuna Ranana, L'chuna Ranana, L'chuna Ranana, Adonai.
You'll turn over to page 20. There you will find our 99th Psalm and the last 3 lines of that psalm you'll find by the little red arrow, Romemu Adonai Eloheinu, to go with our theme that we talked earlier. This is a psalm that reminds us to lift our souls up. Again, we continue to lift our souls up in celebration. So page 20, the last 3 lines.
Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu Har Kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu Har Kodsho. Ki. Good. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Ki Kadosh Adonai Eloheinu Romemu. Now pick it up. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu Har Kodsho. Romemu Adonai Eloheinu vehishtachavu Har Kodsho.
You'll turn over to page 21 there. You'll find our 29th Psalm. We have the tradition of rising. So I'll ask if you're able to rise as we join together in Mizmor LeDavid, page 21.
Havu l'Adonai b'nei Elim, havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, havu l'Adonai kivod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai b'havrat kodesh, kol Adonai al hamayim, el hakavod hirim, Adonai al mayim rabim, oy oy oy, kol Adonai ba'koach, kol Adonai Behadar, Kol Adonai, Shover Arazim, Vaishaber Adonai et Arsei Halvanon, Vayarkidem Kemo Hegel, Levanon Vesirion, Levanon Vesirion, Kemo Venrehemim, oy 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 oy, Kol Adonai, Chotzev Lavotesh, Kol Adonai, Yachil Midbar, Yachil Adonai, Midbar Kodesh, Kol Adonai Yechol El Hayalot, Vayechesof Yeharot, Uvechevado, Kulo Omer Kavod, Kulo Omer Kavod, oy 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 oy, Adonai Lamambu, Yashav Vayeshev Adonai, Melech Leolam, Adonai Oz Leamo, Yitein Adonai Yevarech et Amo Vashalom.
You are welcome to be seated. Page 23, you'll find L'chado Dir, hymn that welcomes in Shabbat as our bride or queen walking into our midst. We will do the first 2 verses on 23 and then the last 2 verses on 25. When we get to that last verse, the tradition of the mystics was and is to rise and turn towards the entrance to welcome in, again, figuratively, if nothing else, the bride or queen into our midst. So we will do that same tradition. I'll give you the signal as we welcome in Shabbat bride or queen to our sanctuary. Page 23, the first 2 verses.
Repeat after me, everyone. Try that. Come on, you got to jump into the water sometime. Ready? Let's try it. Now together. Hold it out now. Chadodi likeratala pnei Shabbat nekabela chadodi likeratala pnei Shabbat nekabela. It's Sephardic, doesn't it sound Spanish? V'shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad Hishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai אחד ושמו אחד, שמו תפארת ולתהילה לך דודי. לקראת כלה פני שבת, יקבלה לך דודי. לקראת כלה פני שבת, נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נזוכה. סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה לך דודי. לקראת כלה פני שבת, נקבלה לך דודי. לקראת כלה פני שבת, נקבלה. ימין ושמאל תפארתי, ואת אדוני תעריצי. היה איש בין פרצי, ונשמחה ונגילה לך דודי. לקראת כלה פני שבת, נקבלה לך דודי. לקראת כלה פני שבת, נקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצולה, תוך אמונה עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה לך דודי. לקראת כלה פני שבת, נקבלה לך דודי. לקראת כלה פני שבת, נקבלה. יא לה לה לה, יא לה 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 לה, יא לה לה לה, יא לה לה לה, לה 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 לה, לה 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 לה, יא לה לה לה.
You're welcome to be seated. If I were the bride or queen walking in, I would want to walk in. That was pretty spirited. Page 27, you'll find the Psalm for Shabbat as we join together, reminding us that today is indeed a very special day, added on to all of the very special things that we have going on this weekend, and with Lily and Hayden in particular. So page 27.
Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, la la. Your turn. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la. Ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la. Let's add some words. Mizmoshir L'yom Shabbat Tov Lehodo L'Adonai. Mizmoshir L'yom Shabbat Tov Lehodo L'Adonai. Lai lai yai yai la 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 lai la lai 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 yai lai la lai 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 yai lai lai yai la 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 lai yai la lai 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 yai la lai 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 yai la la lai yai la 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 lai la lai yai lai la la lai. La 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la la la, ya la.
Page page 28, you'll find the end of the 92nd Psalm as we join together Tzaddik HaTamar by the little red arrow.
Tzaddik HaTamar yifrach ki erez balvanon yizkah shetzulim beveit Adonai bechatrot Eloheinu yafrichu od yenuvon beseva deshenim verananim iyu lehagid ki yashar Adonai Tzuri velo avlata bo.
You'll turn over to page 30. There you'll find Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish. And I know as we recite this evening, we certainly keep in our thoughts Joan Fries, and we say, I know the families in the back here, we say, Amakom Yonachem Edchem B'toch Sha'ar Chavalei Tzion B'Yerushalayim. May the divine comfort you, along with all other mourners of Zion and Jerusalem. Mina Shamayim Tenu Chamu. May you find comfort from heaven. Page 30, you'll find Kaddish Yatom, the mourner's Kaddish, as those reciting, if you'll rise and join with me. Yit gadal v'yit kadash shemei rabbah.
Amen.
V'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei. B'chayechon uvyomechon uv'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala ubizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei shemei rabbah mevarach le'olam olomei olmaya. Yit barach v'yishtabach v'yit pa'ar v'yit romam v'yit naseh. V'yitadar, v'yitalev, v'yitalal, shemei dekudesha, b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush b'chata v'nechemata, da'amiran b'alma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. You are welcome to be seated. Take just a few moments for a little bit of a study. So when we light the Hanukkah candles, we traditionally place them in the window so that we can see them as we go, and those passing by the street may see them. Because the lights, of course, help to proclaim the miracle of Hanukkah. That's from the rabbis in particular. This is an ancient custom. It's not as a counterpoint to seeing Christmas trees in the window. It actually predates that. That part of the mitzvah of the mitzvah of Hanukkah is to make sure that we're not just doing it inside, but that we publicize the miracle of Hanukkah. So in the days before electricity, though, right? What do we have? We have the glow of the candles could light an entire room. And the rabbis issued a warning. They said, Ein lanu reshut lehishtamesh bahem, ella lirotam bilvad. One may not make use of their light, but are only to look upon them as a reminder of the miracle. So the rabbis didn't want them to be used as a source of lightening a room. They wanted them specifically for the miracle of Hanukkah, to publicize and show that miracle. Because today, certainly, we easily switch on the lights in a room and we can read or open our presents or whatever we want. So this is not a warning that we normally pay any attention to. But in the days, again, prior to electricity, people really did need that light of the Hanukkah candles. So this legal fiction was created. What's the legal fiction? We're going to place one candle higher than the others and declare that we're only going to use the light of that one candle. and not the light of the other regular candles. I know, it's the rabbis. They like to do legal fictions. They like to make it fit, right? So that's how they made it fit. So what is this candle called, the one that's raised above? The Shamash, correct, right. The Shamash, this helper candle, the one which lights all the others. You want to know how we got this Shamash? We don't need a Shamash for our Shabbat candles, but somehow we need them for our 8 candles for our Hanukkah. This is part of the reason. This legal fiction of let's put one a little higher. That's the helper candle. That's the one that can be used to illuminate. But think about it for a moment. Really, again, the Shamash isn't really needed. Do we need it? We strike a match, we press our little buttons, right? And we could easily light the candles like we do on Shabbat and the other holidays with a match. So what can we learn from the Shamash? Why this legal fiction? What's important about it? Well, there are those who simply describe the Shamash as a lonely candle, the one that really does what a single match could do, the one that merely furthers this little legal fiction, and we can continue to perpetuate the tradition of it. But I think it actually stands, that Shamash that stands above those other candles is not just for a physical reason or a historical reason, but I think there's a spiritual one that we can take from it. So rather than look at it as legal fiction, what can it teach us spiritually? What does the Shamash do? It enables all the other candles to be lit. Without its help, the light of our lamp would be dimmed, if you will. So the message of the Shamash is that each of us stands in that same position. If you liken us to the Shamash, each of us stands in that same position, and we have the potential to kindle the light of the lives of others. And just as the Shamash lights the other candles, so too it's a mitzvah for us to touch the lives of other people. And our tradition teaches us, Zachin la'adam shel bifanav. One must perform positive acts which are helpful to others. So if we can do something to help another person, even when we're not asked, we should do it. So the message from the tradition is that all of us have the potential to be enablers, to be a shamash for other people. And those of you who are teachers, we were just talking about your class, right, Tracy? You know full well that every day you kindle the light of learning when you walk into the room. You enable others to discover new insights, to think of new ways to become better human beings. It's really what education's about. And those of you who are parents, which are many of us in the room, you know full well that you shape all that a child learns and does by being their parent, for better or for worse. You kindle the light in your children when you teach them right from wrong, when you show them love and compassion, when you help them achieve their potential. You are their shamash when you schlep them to Hebrew school, or for the many, many, many B'nai Mitzvah lessons we've had. And by doing so, you enable them to see them as being important, and as importance in our tradition and the value of life, of living life that's guided by Jewish principles. Our children, we hope, see that. So Lily and Hayden, as you come here on the Bima tonight, and as you participate tomorrow, and as we celebrate with you becoming B'nai Mitzvah, you are each a shamash, enabling us to share in the prayer experience, helping us to feel the spirit of Shabbat and Rosh Chodesh and Hanukkah in our hearts as we celebrate you becoming B'nai Mitzvah. And certainly as B'nai Mitzvah, as young Jewish adults now, you will now have many, many, many more opportunities to be a shamash, to be a helper, to help yourself, and to help others to fulfill our mitzvot, the responsibilities of our tradition that you now have as being Jewish adults. So I hope you'll think of yourselves on this holiday, when you light the candles for the rest of the holiday, that you'll think of yourselves as the shamash, kindling the way, lighting the way for all of us who are following you, who are celebrating with you, who are enjoying with you, who have watched you grow up, and who will continue to be supportive of you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Hanukkah Sameach. We're going to invite Hayden and Lily to come on up, if you will. As we turn to page 39A, they're going to help us a little bit with the evening service. You all want to come stand over here, actually, where Cantor has the book already ready for you. And we're on page 39A. As we rise, we face the ark for the beginning of the evening service.
39. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach. HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach, HaMevorach le'olam va'ed.
You may be seated.
Umahavir yom umevi laila, mavdil ben yom umevi laila, Adonai tzevaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, Hamari v'aravi.
Page 40.
Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu, v'hem negei yomam v'layla, v'ahavadecha, al tasim imenu v'olamim, Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev amo Yisrael.
We'll find the Shema, page 41.
Shema.
בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבבך ושינתם לבניך ודברתם בשבתך בביתך ובלתך בדרך ושבתך ובקומך וקשרתם להיות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
We read together in the English on the left side of the page on 41, the V'ahavta together. You shall love Adonai your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all that is yours. These words that I command you this day shall be taken to heart. Teach them again and again to your children. Speak of them when you sit in your home, when you walk on your way, when you lie down, and when you rise up. Bind them as a sign upon your hand and as a symbol above your eyes. Inscribe them upon the doorposts of your homes and upon your gates. We turn over to page 44. There you will find right in the middle in the bold, the three lines, Mi chamocha, who is like you, Adonai. Those words resound for us as we recited them, as we sang them, as we crossed the Red Sea into freedom from Egypt, and we recognize the ability to take a breath from the toil of our work, and that's why it's here, especially in our Shabbat service. Page 44, as Lily and Hayden, along with the cantor, lead us. Mi chamocha.
Mi chamocha
ba'elim Adonai. Mi
chamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora nora. Torah tegilot o seferah. Mi
chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora nora.
Torah tegilot o seferah.
Malchutecha uvanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe. Zeli, zeli, anu ve'ameru. Malchutecha uvanecha bokei hayam lifnei Moshe. Zeli, zeli, anu ve'ameru. Chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh nora nora. Torah tehilot o seferah. Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Mi chamocha
ba'elim Adonai.
mi chamocha nehedar b'kodesh
nora
nora.
Torah tegilot
O seferah, O seferah, O seferah. V'ne'emar kifad Adonai et Yaakov, u'gi'alo mi'ad chazak mimenu. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael.
Page 45, you'll find Hashkivenu, our prayer that was traditionally said as we go to bed at night. It's our bedtime prayer, if you will. It's our lullaby, and it asks God to protect us as we go to sleep and help us awaken to a brighter tomorrow. So we read together in the English on the left side of the page on 45. Allow us, Adonai, our God, to sleep peacefully. Awaken us to life, O Sovereign. Spread over us your canopy of peace. Restore us with your good counsel, and save us for the sake of your name. Shield us. Remove from us enemies, pestilence, sword, starvation, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, for you, God, watch over and deliver us, and you, God, are sovereign, merciful, and compassionate. Ensure our going and coming for life and peace, now and forever. May you spread over us your canopy of peace. Baruch atah Adonai, who spreads the canopy of peace over us, over all the people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Amen. We turn again, look over onto page 45, the Hashkivenu in the Hebrew.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom. V'hamidenu malkeinu lechayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Shelter us beneath thy wings, Oh, Adonai, guard us from all harmful things. Oh, Adonai, keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us daily wrong from right. Oh, Adonai. Amen. 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 Oh, amen. 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 Amen.
On page 46, you'll find the Shamru as we rise and join together, reminding us of the covenant we share with God through the observance of Shabbat, the celebration of Shabbat. Page 46, as Lily and Hayden lead us.
V'shamru
B'nai Yisrael
et ha-Shabbat לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם
תהיו בין בני ישראל
אותי לעולם אותי לעולם אותי לעולם ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם איש ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם וביום השביעי שבת וינבש שבת וינבש שבת וינבש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We remain standing for Chatzi Kaddish as Hayden leads us. 46.
יתגדע ויתגדע שמי רבה בעלמא דברה קירתה וימיך מלכותה
בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי כל בית ישראל בעגלה בעגלה
ובזמן קריב
ויאמרו
יהי שמי רבה
מבורך
לעולם ולעולמי יתברך וישתבח ויתאר ויתנמן ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתעלה שמי לקודשה בריחו לעולם מכל ירתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה דמי ירן בעלמא ואמרו
Amen. You'll find the Silent Amidah for this evening beginning on page 47 through 52. We add the paragraph for Rosh Chodesh on the top of 50, and if you'll follow the note at the bottom of 50, you can turn over to 430. There you'll find the special paragraph for Hanukkah as well, and then turn back to continue the end of the Amidah back to 51 and 52. And as always, you can use this time for your own personal thoughts and meditations to add to the words on the page. When you're through, you are certainly welcome to be seated. We're on page 47. Bottom of 52, you'll find the last two lines of the Amidah, of the personal selection of the Amidah, which reminds us of the theme of shalom, of bringing peace to the world. That's one of the things a Shamash does, is to help to make the world a better place, to bring the pieces of the world into one piece, to bring that sense of shalom to both themselves and to others. And that's one of those things that I think Lily and Hayden do beautifully now as young adults and will continue to do throughout their lives. So page 52, you'll find the bottom two verses as they lead us in Oseh Shalom.
Shalom bimromav.
Oseh Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru amen. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom,
Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu Yaakov Yisrael. Amen.
You all can go sit down for a minute if you like. We again I mentioned earlier about adding your own personal thoughts to the words on the page. We do that as a congregation by adding our prayer for healing here in this point in our service. So if you'll turn to page 173, you'll see on the far left side of the page, 173, you'll find the words from Debbie Friedman and Dora Settle, or Misha Baruch, our prayer for healing. It's for physical, for emotional, spiritual healing. We all need healing in our world. So we join together as the cantor leads us on that page, 173 in a small.
Avotenu Mikor habracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. And let us say, Amen. Misha Beirach Limotenu Mikor habracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
If you'll turn back to page 54, there you will find Kaddish Shalem as the cantor leads us.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah B'yalmad divrei chirutei v'yamlich malchutei b'chayechon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayedecho beit Yisrael b'agala v'zman kari v'yimeru. Amen. Yehi shmei Rabbah mevorach Le'olam u'la'almei almaya yitbarach. Yibarach v'yishtabach v'yitpoar v'yitroma v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shmei l'kudishah. Le'ela mikol b'chata v'shirata tushbechata v'yirata v'yiran be'alma v'yimeru. תתקבל תפילה ודרבן תנחו ישראל קודם אבהון ושמיה וימרו. יהי שלמה רבה מן שמיה וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו. עושה שלום במרומיו הוא יעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל ועל כל ישראל.
As we turn to page 55, we have the custom, of course, of welcoming in Shabbat with a cup of grape juice or wine. This is the grape juice. Parents, no worries. It's just the sweet stuff. As we take a cup, we toast Shabbat. We toast Lily and Hayden this evening as they take the official Kiddush cups. If you all come on up towards the front here, and if you all don't mind, if you're able to rise, as we join together in sanctifying, making special this Shabbat with Kiddush. Page 55.
Baruch Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam bovrei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu b'shabbat kodsho b'ahava v'ratzon yidchilanu zikaron lemaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila lemikroei kodesh zecher l'tziat mitzrayim kivanu v'acharta yotanu kitashta mikol hamim b'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava v'ratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashabbat. Amen.
I don't even want to ask. I missed it, and I don't want to ask. Page 56, we remain standing. As I collect up, Tanner collects up the cups, we face the Aron HaKodesh, we face the Ark.
Come over here.
As we join together in Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol latet gedula leotzer breshit shelo asanu kigoye haratzot velo samanu shelo sam chelkenu kahem vigor aleinu kichol hamonam v'anachnu korim ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא הוא נוטה שמיים ויוסר ארץ משה קרוב בשמיים ממעל ושכינת זו בגוהי מרומים Hu Eloheinu Elosh Emet Malkeinu Efesu Lato Kakatu Betorato Ve'ada Tahayom Ve'hashevota El Levavecha Ki Adonai Hu HaElohim Hashamayim Imal V'aharetz mitachadenu.
Kakatu betoratecha Adonai imach le'olam va'ed V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai
L'melech al kol haaretz
Vayom hahu Yihyeh Adonai echad U'shemo echad U'shemo echad.
You are welcome to be seated. As we prepare to recite Kaddish this evening, we again mentioned earlier, we extend our condolences and hugs of support to the extended family of Joan Fries, to Jody and to Jack and to Fred, Sandy back in the back here. We continue to hug you as you move through the Shiva period and through Shloshim. We're glad you could be here, and we extend our support to you. We also mention the names of those who's going through Shloshim, which I know, again, unfortunately, is the Reich family. As we remember, Anita Reich, who was sister of Esther Bornett, and aunt of Jody and Darren Bornett. So we know it's been a difficult month for all of you there. We also give our hugs of support, continuing to Sylvia Cohen and Jeff Cohen on the death of David Cohen. And we mention the names of those whose yortzites occur today and the week that is coming. Gerald Davis, Henry Friedman, Violet Gershowitz, Irene Heinz, Louis Heinz, Ben Markey Jacobs, Rachel Godofsky-Kaminsky, Leonore Cavey, Norma Leibovitz, Leah Alterman-Levin, Max A. Mendlowitz, Ann Moskowitz, Helen Okrent, Gregory Peisman, Zaja Regenbaum, Samuel H. Reif, Ethel Sampler, Harry Silverman, Harvey Snyder, and Marvin Solomon. All those reciting Kadisha Tome, the Mourner's Kaddish. You'll find it on page 58. Those reciting, you're welcome to rise and join with me. Yit Gadal v'yit Kadash Shemei Rabbah v'alma divrach yirutei v'amlich malchutei b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol Beit Yisrael ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam lomei olmaya yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal Shemei dekudisha b'rechu La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata da'amiran bi'alma v'imru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru Amen. You are welcome to be seated. We also recognize, and you may have seen the note if you saw your email, that just before Shabbat, we extend our condolences to Adrian Chrysaorus on the death of his mother, Matilda. The funeral will be Monday at 11 a.m. at the Memorial Gardens, so you can check your email for that announcement. I think the date might have been wrong. It may have said December 2nd, but it should have. It is Monday, this Monday at 11 o'clock, so keep that in mind. I know the family would probably appreciate people reaching out during this difficult time to them. So on to a few announcements. We, as always, remind you that we will be back here tomorrow morning at 9:15 in the morning. Are we doing anything special tomorrow morning? No? Lily says nothing going on, so you don't have to come. Really?
I don't think so.
Oh, Hayden agrees. Nothing going on. Well, I'll be here. Are you guys coming?
Are we supposed to?
Yeah, I think so. Sam's going to be here, right? Did I hear you say that? You're reading Torah, right? You might as well show up. You learned it, right? Micah, like you guys are going to show up? Yeah? All right, so if you have nothing better to do tomorrow, come back. We'll be here, apparently. Unless they sleep in, set the clock. We will be calling Hayden and Lily to the Torah as a bar and bat mitzvah, respectively. We're going to be celebrating. It's going to be a busy morning. We have, if you want to see something really fun, come back because we're going to have how many Torahs, guys? 3 Torahs. You don't see that. It's the only time of the year you're going to see 3 Torahs when it works out that it's both Shabbat, Rosh Chodesh, and Hanukkah. We get Shabbat and Hanukkah. We always get that because it's an 8-day holiday. You have no choice. There's always going to be a Shabbat somewhere, right? But you don't always get Rosh Chodesh. So we're going to take 3 Torahs out tomorrow. They're going to get their workouts, and we're going to be celebrating. So please come and join us tomorrow at 9:15. And if you aren't partied out by the afternoon from the service, please come join us tomorrow night at 6:30 We will have a Hanukkah Song Fest and a dance-a-thon in our social hall. Actually, here for the choir, we'll be singing a little bit of our favorite Hanukkah songs, and then we'll put on our dancing shoes in the social hall and enjoy. We'll bring our menorahs to light. You're welcome to bring a menorah to light. We'll have one here as well, and we'll just celebrate a little bit of Hanukkah together as we welcome in together the seventh night tomorrow night. So keep that in mind. There is also a teen community menorah lighting at 8 p.m. So you can even come here and then go out there if you're an 8th grader on up. And you can enjoy menorah lighting at Alamo Plaza, followed by an event at the Mirror Maze. It is $15 a person. And our Director of IPRS, Melanie Levy, has the information. So you have time right after Shabbat. You can email her if you need and sneak in. Hopefully, I know that they would want to have you there, even if you haven't signed up. So please do that. Some other Hanukkah announcements. You can join me on Sunday at 6 o'clock at Chavano Park City Hall. I'm going to be helping to light the menorah for the community. I know different people are taking different nights. I'm excited to be able to welcome in the final night of Hanukkah. It'll be a full menorah with at the City Hall there. So please come join me and my family as we will do that. And a couple other quick announcements just to keep in mind. We have our Kids Shabbat next Friday, December 10th at 5:15. You can join the Cantor and I for a little interactive service for the kids prior to the regular service at 6. So little ones on up to 2nd grade. Anyone who's a kid at heart is welcome as well. There'll also be that night at 7 in the Cavi a young Jewish adults Kabbalat Shabbat. Bring with music and prayer and a little bit of food together. Drums and guitars are welcome, and it's being subsidized, the dinner, so it's $6 per person. Again, for a special program for our young Jewish adult, 20s and 30s is the age range, and so if you have not signed up, you have time to do that. And don't forget Junior Congregation next Saturday as well. We have our Kids Shabbat and then Junior Congregation. You can join Jeff Cohen in the chapel for a kid-friendly service filled with singing and learning as our children lead the Shabbat morning service. They'll come here and help us with the end of the morning service. And by the way, we have another bar mitzvah next week. It is Bernard Rabinowitz. He's having his second bar mitzvah. He is celebrating his bar mitzvah anniversary and celebrating his second bar mitzvah. So if you want to see what that's all about, come join us on the 11th. He'll be called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah once again. He'll be here tomorrow. You'll be able to see him. He'll be participating as well as one of our Gabayim. But you can certainly come join us and celebrate with him. So it's going to be a very festive December for all of us. And on the next week, we have our bat mitzvah of Nikki Nestel. So it is a busy few weeks coming up, and one that we should all be celebrating together. So don't forget that. And finally, just so that you probably have seen, we sent out a note as well. You can join us for the unveiling of Tevye Friedman's stone on her headstone this Sunday, December 5th, and it'll be out at Agudas Memorial Gardens, and that will be at 2 o'clock. So those of you are aware of it, that will be 2 o'clock as we do the unveiling for Tevye Friedman's stone. So keep that in mind. And as always, we have our minyan every morning, weekdays 7:30, and on Sunday, you can join us at 9 o'clock. I think that's all you need to know about. So we are going to do a little conclusion of Adon Olam. What do you think? Yes? Does that sound good? You all mind coming up and helping out with the cantor a little bit? And we will finish up our service. You'll need to turn to page 211. There you will find Adon Olam. We have a special Adon Olam planned for tomorrow, Logan and Sam, right? Yeah, tomorrow, not today. No, the instrument one. Yeah. No, not the Backstreet Boys. We're going to do the instrument one. Yeah. We got a plan. Don't worry about it. You'll come up and help with that. Tonight we're going to do a little Hanukkah. So this theme, this tune should be a little bit familiar. It's one that we sing whenever we light the candles, and we sing. I'll give you the hint. Ma'od Sor.
Does anyone know the origin of that tune? You will receive a tome in my office called Jewish Music, the History and Development. If you could tell me the origin of the Ma'od Sor tune.
Whoa.
All right, we're great borrowers, aren't we, Jews, right? Circumcision wasn't ours. We borrowed it from the larger culture. This is a Protestant hymn. Bum, 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 bum. What's the second part? It's a military march. Da, da, dun, dun, da, da. Right? Did you know that? Now you do.
Cool.
So if you ever wonder, where do these tunes come from? Well, we take them from the surrounding culture and we kosher them. Are you ready? No, excuse me. Adon olam Hashem Allah
2:11.
B'terem kol yetzir nivra Li'et nasa v'chefso kol Azai melech shemo nikra V'acharei kichlot hakol Levato yimloch nora Vehu haya Vehu hove, vehu yeh betifara, vehu echad, v'yein sheni, lehamshil lo lehachbira, bli reshit beli tachlit, v'lo ha'oz v'ha'misra, vehu eli v'chai goali, V'tzorchev li b'yeit tzara V'hu nisi umanos li Menat kosi b'yom ekra B'yado afkid ruchi B'yeit tishan V'yahirav im ruchi Geviyati Adonai Li velo ira.
We also thank Phil in the back for being our usher this evening. So say hello to Phil as he comes, as you leave. We join together. Shabbat Shalom.
Oi!
Shabbat Shalom.
Hey, Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, Shalom. Shabbat, 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 Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Hanukkah Sameach and Chodesh Tov. Yeah.